Gear. The new series begins tomorrow at 8:30 on BBC Two.
A bit of Wipeout history now on BBC One Scotland with Bob Monkhouse.
Here to play Wipeout, Rachel Hawkes is training at the Royal Military Academy at Sandhurst. Nigel Linham, a landscape gardener from Somerset. And Melanie Thomas, a student from Birmingham. Now let's meet the star of the show, Bob Monkhouse.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank you, sir. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, and welcome to the ingenious game that was created by a man. This is interesting. Wipeout was invented by a bloke whose other inventions were pathetic failures. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He tried crossing a coffee pot with a bra. Well, it didn't work out because he could only get 2 cups. Then he crossed a woodworm with a praying mantis and wound up with an insect that says grace before it eats your house. Good heavens, is that the time? Let's play Wipeout. Welcome, folks. Welcome, Rachel and Nigel and Melanie. Rachel. I heard Tom saying that you're a graduate.
Yes, that's right. I've just finished studying a degree in mechanical engineering with management.
Mechanical engineering. That's when you look at something and try to figure out how and why it works. What are you all looking at me for? Where did you study?
My degree was studied at the Royal Military College of Science, but before that I went to an Army Sixth Form college to do my A-levels.
The Army Sixth Form. Oh, the Army Sixth Form is much safer than your regular school. Much safer. Fewer guns and weapons for a start. And you look sporty, are you?
I have to, being in the Army, but
Yes.
I prefer, my favourite sport is rugby.
Ladies play rugby. Yes, they do now.
Apparently.
Don't they? Yes, women play rugby. The only trouble with that is none of them wants to be called a hooker. I imagine. Nigel, how can you be a gardener? Your boobs aren't big enough. Do you watch Charlie Dimmock?
I do occasionally.
Yeah, well, me too. With my magnifying glass. TV has made the back garden so fashionable, hasn't it? In my day, a water feature was the outside loo. But now... Who are you married to?
Lucy.
Lucy?
Yeah.
Does she call you Nige?
Yes, she does.
You don't call her Luce, do you?
No.
Why is that? What about other interests?
I play a lot of sport. I play a lot of tennis.
Goalie gear?
Yeah, definitely.
Years ago, I had a great Wimbledon racket. I charged a tenner for 4 strawberries. Hello, Melanie.
Hi, Bob.
What do you study?
At present, I'm doing sound recording. I've just completed a TV and video course as well.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oh, we'll stick around the studio afterwards and chat to the crew because, you know, I don't know what advice you need, but God knows they could do with some. Well, you look fit, too. What do you do?
Apart from being a mother of 2, I do salsa dancing and jazz dancing as well, Bob.
Ah, I'm into Latin dancing. Let's face it, I'm so old Latin is my first language. Previous job?
I used to be a sales assistant selling handbags as well.
Handbags? The one item where you don't mind the customer saying, where's the cash? Thank you. Would you please make my guests feel welcome, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, folks. That was lovely. Our Wipeout winners have winged their way to many exotic locations, from Paris to Prague, from Mallorca to Moscow, some with hundreds of pounds to spend. Plucking 50 quid answers off our grid really adds up, but a single wrong answer, of course, will instantly subtract the lot. Here's the title of our first grid on today's show. Yeah, it's Summer Wine. The last of the summer wines. The summer wine usually are better when they're drunk young, which is why I started drinking them when I was 7. 11 of the names on our... What a nice crowd. 11 of the names on our board belong to characters from the much-loved sitcom Last of the Summer Wine. 11 of them do. The other 5 are wipeouts. Let's put up the answers. Bear in mind that out of those 16 answers, only 11 are correct, 5 are incorrect. Now, before we came on, our contestants drew their lucky lots, so Melanie gets to go first. Melanie, can you spot someone up there who you've seen in The Last of the Summer Wine?
Compo, Bob?
Compo. The much-loved Bill Owen, much missed too, unkempt paramour called Compo. Yeah, that's right. 50 quid goes into your bank account. Do you want to double it?
Yes, Bob. I'll go for Nora Batty.
Nora Batty, she of the wrinkled stockings. Wonderfully played by Kathy Staff. Nora Batty. You now have £100 bank.
I'll go again for Marina.
Okay, Melanie, let's find out if you're right about Marina on the bottom line of the grid. Marina. Howard's Floozy, brilliantly played by Jean Ferguson, an actress I admire very much. She does a great Hilda Baker. You now have £150 banked.
Okay, I'll go again, and I'll go for Auntie Wainwright.
Auntie Wainwright in the top right-hand corner of the grid, former Hilda Ogden actress. Auntie Wainwright. The marvellous Jean Alexander has brought you up to £200. 7 correct answers remain. Play or pass?
I'm going to pass, Bob.
Are you? Okay. Rachel, pick me someone who's in The Last of the Summer Wine.
Truly, Bob.
Truly, bottom left-hand corner of the grid. Truly. Played by Frank Thornton in a 97 special. Well chosen.
I'll play and I'll go for Smiler, please.
Smiler. You are one yourself, aren't you? That's nice. Smiler. Yes, played by Stephen Lewis of On the Buses fame. Blakey, I hate you, Blakey. Oh, no, that's supposed to be him. Okay, you got £100.
I'll play again. I'll go for Norman Clegg.
Norman Clegg. Okay, Norman? Peter Sallis playing the unobtrusive, wary one. Again, they're such a brilliant team, aren't they? Peter Sallis, wonderful actor.
And I'll play again. I'll go for Eli, please.
Eli. Ellie on the top line. Danny O'Day plays Eli. You now have £200 banked. Well,
I'm going to pass now, please.
are you? Well, what a lovely situation, Nige.
Yeah, great.
All the good ones taken. 5 wipeouts still up there intact. Only 3 good answers. Sorry about that.
Eddie Pedgen.
Eddie Pedgan. Edie. We should certainly know that Edie Pegden is a character because it's brilliantly played by the great Dame Thora Hird. Put a tick there, please. Yes, well done. Your first 50 quid of the game. Nige, there's 2 correct answers. Play or pass?
Pass.
Right. Oh, Melanie, you have £200 to take care of. Don't hit one of those 5 wipeouts. There's only 2 correct answers.
I'm going to go for Charlie Charlton.
Charlie Charlton in the bottom right-hand corner. If you're right about Charlie Charlton, then you'll have £250 in the bank. If you're wrong, Charlie's going to skitter off with the 200 you've just got. Charlie Charlton. Played by Philip Franks in The Darling Buds of May, not in The Last of the Summer Wine. £200 to find that out. Was it worth it? Sorry, honey. So, what do you say, Rachel?
I'm going to go for Crusher Milburn.
Crusher Milburn. You think that's one of the 2 correct answers up there? Members of the cast of Last of the Summer Wine. Crusher Milburn. Yes, Jonathan Lindsay plays that part. That's now only 1 correct answer out of the 5 you see on the grid.
I'm going to pass it over now, Bob.
I'm not at all surprised. Nigel, 1 correct one. Is it Christine Hardman, Redvers Bodkin, Sam Pearson, Fancy Smith, or Blameyer?
Fancy Smith.
You like Fancy Smith? You fancy Fancy Smith? You won't fancy Fancy Smith when I tell you he was played by Brian Blessed in Z-Cars. I'm afraid you're going to lose your 50. Sorry about that. But it's reduced the number of wipeouts to 3, Melanie. There's only 1 correct answer up there. Can you tell me which one it is?
I'm going to go for Christine Hardman.
Christine Hardman on the top line. Well, you've nothing to lose, for you've nothing currently banked. Let's go for Christine. Christine Hardman was an early character in vintage classic Coronation Street.
Okay.
But you didn't lose anything then, and I'm sure Rachel is pleased because there's now only 2 wipeouts there. 1 correct answer. Is it Redvers Bodkin, Sam Pearson, or Blameyer?
Well, I'm going to go for Sam Pearson.
If this is a wipeout you've chosen, then no one will have any money. Any money. Sam Pearson. Early Emmerdale Farm. Emmerdale Farm, when it was Emmerdale Farm, Toke Townley played the role of Sam Pearson. Oh dear, nobody's got any money at all. There's only One correct answer there. Find it, Nigel.
Redvers Bodkin.
Redvers Bodkin, you're turning down Blamire. Arthur Lowe played Redvers Bodkin. Was it in Last of the Summer Wine? No. He played it in Last of the Baskets. I bet you don't even remember that. So Blamire was the character we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. And, Michael Bates played Blamire in the first 2 series. But I guess that's a long time ago. He was a wonderful actor, Michael Bates, no longer with us, alas. However, here comes the title of the second grid right now. Nasty Suck. Remember the joke about the toothless old bulldog who couldn't bite but had a very nasty suck? No? I have no recollection of that joke and I don't wish to remember it now. Well, which of these creatures has a non-poisonous bite or sting? Okay, you're looking for creatures that if they bit you or stung you, it wouldn't poison you, wouldn't kill you. Okay, here come 16 possible answers. You're looking for non-poisonous creatures there. Rachel, you are the one who's given us the most correct answers, so you get the first go at this grid.
I'm going to go for the Gila monster.
The Gila monster, down in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, you've nothing to lose, so it's in Mexico. I think it is one of the only 2 venomous lizards in the world, but let's find out. Are you poisonous? Yes, very poisonous indeed, nasty, but you've got rid of a wipeout. Thanks for that. Nigel, your turn next. Pick me a non-poisonous creature.
Desert locust.
Oh, yeah, very destructive, but I don't think you'd get poisoned by one. The desert locust. Yeah, well chosen. 50 quid is restored to your funds.
Russell's viper.
I think vipers are poisonous, aren't they? I was always told that the only viper that wasn't poisonous was a windscreen viper, but I could be wrong. Russell's viper, are you poisonous? Yeah. It's found from between India and Taiwan, and its bite could kill you, Nige. And it just did kill your bank account. Oh, I'm sorry. Why am I laughing? Melanie.
Funnel web spider.
The funnel web spider. That's a strange choice. Why did you choose it?
I don't know, Bob.
Just a whimsy.
Yeah.
It lurks under the toilet seat. I think it was featured in a commercial once as being a very nasty thing in Australia, but let's find out. Are you poisonous, funnel web? Yeah, it's killed a lot of people. In Sydney, right in the city, it kills people. It's a horrid thing. And its web is like a funnel, that's the reason it's called that. Okay, Rachel, what do you say?
Porcupine fish, Bob.
A porcupine fish. There's only 2 wipeouts. Have you picked another one? I hope not. The porcupine fish. It's very good. It's not poisonous. It looks awful. It's got all these spikes on it, which is why it's called a porcupine fish. But it's non-poisonous. Can you find another non-poisonous one, or do you want to pass? I'll tell you, there's 9 correct answers up there, only 2 wipeouts.
I'll have a thorny devil, please, Bob.
Well, I hope I heard you correctly. Imagine walking into a bar and saying, I'll have a thorny devil, please. I don't know what that would be. However, is it poisonous? An Australian ant-eating lizard, dangerous only to insects. So you're quite right. You now have £100 banked.
I'm going to go for Goliath beetle, please.
The Goliath beetle doesn't sound very dangerous, does it? It's very big, but I don't think it's poisonous. Are you Goliath? No, it's not poisonous at all. You have £150 banked. There's 2 wipeouts still, 7 correct answers.
I'm going to pass now, please.
I think that's a smart move. Nigel, we're back with you with nothing to lose, Nigel, and there's 7 correct answers up there, as I say, £350 worth of correct answers.
Common king snake.
The common, it's dreadfully common. But considering it's a king, I don't know why it's called a common king snake. Are you poisonous? No, it's harmless. Immune to snake venom, however. It's immune to snake venom, so it can eat other snakes if it wants to. I don't think that's why it's called the common king, but I wouldn't know that. £50 in your bank account.
Oriental rat flea.
Who are you calling an oriental rat flea? Actually, that makes sense to me. A flea being poisonous seems very unlikely. I agree with you. I hope so, too. The rat flea, please. Good. Non-poisonous. Carries germs. Can make you ill. £100 banked.
Banded sea snake.
Banded sea snake. It's going to cost you £100 if it is poisonous. The banded sea snake. It's very, very, very poisonous. It swims around and off Australia again. Poor Australians. And that could kill you too. And once again, it's murder on your bank account. And we're back with you. Melanie, you've given us 4 correct answers, but you've no money in the bank. try and get one of the 5 correct answers. There's only one Wipeout left now.
I'll go for stonefish.
Stonefish. Have you found the one Wipeout out of those 6? I hope you haven't. Stonefish. It's in the stonefish. God, why did you pick that one? It has large, venomous glands, and it's horrible, and it stabs you from the spine, and it's usually fatal. It's proved fatal to the money that we hoped that Nigel and Melanie would accumulate. So Rachel is well in the lead. Having given us 8 correct answers, she has £150. And Nigel and Melanie ain't got nothing in the bank. But one of them gave us more correct answers in the second grid. That was Nigel. So it's to Melanie I have to say thank you for playing our game. Please accept our Wipeout paperweight with our thanks.
Thank you, Bob.
Bye. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Without the powers of Nostradamus, our 2 players will nevertheless predict the future, forecasting how many of the 8 correct answers on the grid they'll be able to identify. Rachel has the higher score at the moment, so she may make the first bid for the grid, and the title of it is coming up now. Mythical creatures. Which 8 of the names on our board are the names of creatures in myth or legend? 8 of them are, and 4 of them are nothing of the kind. Have a look at this lot. Tisan, Basilisk, Mugwump, Fafnir, Wyvern, Leviathan, Bunyip, Cyclops, Unicorn, Yataghan, Cerberus, and Boko. Tough one. Rachel, take a look at those and tell me how many you can correctly identify as being creatures of myth or legend.
4.
4, says Rachel. Nigel, can you bid higher than 4?
5.
Nigel will risk 5. You can still go higher. There's 8 correct answers there.
Oh, I'll let him take it.
All right. Nigel, 5 mythical creatures, please, starting with your first choice.
Cyclops.
Cyclops. Fair enough to imagine that it's not really a giant with one eye in the middle of his forehead walking around. He must be mythical.
Unicorn.
The unicorn. Haven't seen any of them lately. I don't think it was on Noah's Ark somehow. A heraldic animal, you know, the white horse with one spiraled horn. The one that you don't want to play leapfrog over.
Bunyip.
The bunyip. In the bottom right-hand corner. The bunyip is said to live in swamps off central Australia. The swamps in the middle of Australia house the mythical bunyip. 2 more answers, please, Nige.
The Boko.
The boko or boko. If you're right, the boko or boko is a mythical creature, then I'll only need 1 more answer from you, and you'll win the grid. If you're wrong, control of the grid will pass to Rachel, and she only needs to give me 1 correct answer to win it. Let's find out about the boko. No, it's just slang for the nose. So give me 1 correct answer, Rachel, and you'll win the grid.
Leviathan.
Leviathan. Looks good to me. Yes. Leviathan. Mythical 7-headed serpent. Away with the wipeouts. Here they go. Leaving only the correct answers: Basilisk, Fafnir, Wyvern, and Cerberus. Any one of which would have been okay. However, now, Rachel leads 1 grid to 0. Gets first bid on our second grid. Here's the title. World Snooker Champs. Listed on our board, you'll see 12 top snooker players. All you need to do is identify the 8 players who've won the world title. Here they come. Jimmy White, Ray Reardon, Joe Johnson, Doug Mountjoy, John Higgins, John Virgo, Ken Doherty, Steve Davis, Eddie Charlton, John Spencer, Terry Griffiths, Cliff Thorburn. They're all champions, but they must be world champions to fit the question. So, Rachel, looking over that collection, how many world champs do you think you could name?
5.
5. Good bid. A high bid, too. Nigel, can you do better than 5?
8.
8? Well, that's the top bid. It can't be outbid, Rachel. So let's see if he can do it. Go ahead. 8 world champs.
Cliff Thorburn.
Cliff Thorburn. The Canadian won it in 1980.
Terry Griffiths.
Terry Griffiths. The Welshman won it in 1979.
Ray Reardon.
Ray Reardon. He won the title 6 times in the 70s.
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson. Yes, on the top line, he won it in 86.
John Higgins.
John Higgins on the right-hand side. The young Scot won it in 88.
Ken Doherty.
Ken Doherty, bottom right-hand corner. Ken. That's a young Irishman. He won it in '97. This is amazing.
Steve Davis.
Steve Davis on the bottom line. Steve was box. Interesting Steve won it 6 times in the 80s. One more answer. The grid is yours.
John Spencer.
You say John Spencer. If you're right about it being John Spencer, then you will have a situation of 1 grid all. If you're wrong, control will pass to Rachel. In the bottom left-hand corner, England's John Spencer. Did you win the World Championship 3 times? Yes, he did. Wow. I think you deserve that extra sincere round of applause there. That was a phenomenal performance. And so it's 1 grid all. And here's the decider coming up. Since you won the last grid, Nigel, you get first pick of this lot. And the title is straight in at number 1. 8 of the 12 song titles that you'll see on the grid entered the UK singles chart at number 1. Identify them correctly and you won't get wiped out. Here they come. Earth Song, Millennium, Fairground, We Are the Champions, Believe, Firestarter, Relax, All Around the World, The Young Ones, My Heart Will Go On, Paranoid Android, Yesterday. Nigel, it's your turn to bid.
Go 5, Bob.
Go 5. 5 songs that came in at number 1 in the UK charts. Will you bid higher than that, Rachel?
I'll let him play.
All righty, here we go, Nigel. See if you can do as well as you did with those snooker champions. What's your first choice?
Firestarter.
You say Firestarter came into the UK charts at number 1. January '96 for The Prodigy, yes.
Relax.
Relax. Bottom right-hand corner. Relax. In '84, Frankie Goes to Hollywood did it with 2 Tribes, but not with Relax. Control of the board passes to you, Rachel. Name just 1 that came in at the UK charts at number 1, and you'll win the grid.
Yesterday.
If you're right about Yesterday, coming in at number 1, that will be 2 grids to 1, and you will play for your holiday on today's show. But if you're wrong, control will pass back to Nigel. Yesterday. Oh, my trouble seems so far away. The Beatles reached number 8 in 1976. It didn't go higher than 8. Unbelievable. Nige, we're back with you.
Earth Song.
Earth Song. If you're right about Earth Song in the top left-hand corner, then you will have 2 grids to 1, and you'll play for your holiday on today's show. Michael Jackson, did you get to number 1 straight away in '95 with Earth Song? Yes, he did. Wow. Away with the Wipeout. Away they go, and we're left only with those you see up there, Millennium, Fairground, Believe, My Heart Will Go On, The Young Ones All Around the World. Well, there you go. Nigel actually wins this round of the game, and we have to say goodbye to Rachel. I don't want to say goodbye to Rachel. I would love to live the rest of my life with Rachel, but it's not possible. So she's going to be a very successful lady in our armed forces, and we wish you a terrific career.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll go very far, as you intend to. You're an ambitious young lady, and we hope that you will remember us. And here we have, as a memento, 2 beautiful champagne flutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nigel, join me at the game control. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for Nigel Linham, landscape gardener from Somerset, North Somerset, isn't it?
That's right.
Married to Lucy and 2 little boys, Thomas and... Ryan. Great. Where do you want to go?
Milan.
Milan. You're an opera fan?
I am.
I don't speak much Italian, though when I was last in Milan, I managed to pick up a little Italian. I'm too old to pick up a big one. We have 4 categories for you to choose from. Let's have a look at them. What's your pick?
History.
History. You're a brave man. All right, I don't know if I'd have the nerve for history. Let's find out what kind of history. Babes at number 10. 21 of Britain's prime ministers were under the age of 50 when they first took office. We want to know which 6 among the ones you'll see up here, 12 prime ministers, were amongst those relative youngsters. Here we come with the answers. Six is the number you want to see in the top left-hand corner. You have a minute to win it. There's the minute. I'll let you know how it goes in the top right-hand corner. Don't worry about that. Concentrate on getting those 6 right and do it as quickly as you can so that you can get back here and check how many you've got right, how many you've got wrong. Your minute to win it starts now. Tony Blair, 50 younger, John Major. Edward Heath, Duke of Wellington. and Robert Peel. How many right? Bit box button, we've got 4 right, 2 are wrong. Take out the 2 that are wrong, replace them. You can't put one in until you take one out. You've taken Robert Peel out. You put in Winston Churchill, okay, check. You had 4 right, now you've got 3 right. Taken out the Duke of Wellington, puts in James Callaghan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Taken out Pitt the Younger. You've taken out Pitt the Younger. Did you mean to do that? No, you need to get 6 up. You only have 7 seconds left. Three, 2, 1, no. Sorry, Nigel, sorry. Yes, sorry, it was very confusing. Well, you can't fault you for not making every effort to get it right. Let's see what the correct answers are. Pitt the Younger, Tony Blair, Robert Peel, John Major, Harold Wilson, and Frederick North. For those of you saying who was Frederick North, well, I tell you, he was Prime Minister at the age of 38 in 1770, so you can't blame Nigel for not remembering that. Thanks for playing. You've been a smashing player. You've made today's show lots of fun, and we would like to present you with our champagne flutes and a Wipeout paperweight, and with our thanks and with a round of applause for Nigel Linham, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you very much. United States President Calvin Coolidge once observed, "No man ever listened himself out of a job." Well, that wipes me out. Till next time, bye.
Working Lunch is about to start on BBC 2 Scotland. Here on BBC 1 Scotland, we're off to sunny Mallorca. Passport to the Sun is next.
Rapes and a horrific crime. The woman's left to live with the memories of the attack for the rest of her life. But how do their partners cope? That's Kilroy. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock on BBC 1.